Hvor er den dårlig. Har du den?
Ja.
There's something wrong with this gun.
Welcome to Romania. It's my very first visit to this beautiful country. We are in the southeast part of Romania, and we're here with Catalin from Black Valley. We're hunting for roebucks. We just got here, and the sun is setting, and this scenery it's honestly one of the most beautiful places I've ever hunted roebucks. Lots of steep slopes and mountain-like figures, grass and flowers and scrubbery bush. Apparently there's some really nice roebucks here, so in the morning when we start hunting, we are excited and it's just beautiful. So now we're just gonna enjoy the sunset and get ready for tomorrow morning. First morning here in Romania, and we have the pleasure of following Nina on her very first hunt here. We're hunting for roebucks or wild boar. It's coldish, it's cloudy, it's not as warm as yesterday, and the terrain is so rugged and natural. There's no plantations, there's only some fruit trees, but nothing planned here, so it's beautiful nature, and I think we're ready.
Very ready.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
After you.
He's more than 200 meters away.
Yeah, cool. How much? That's a very nice one.
Okay.
200. Do you feel comfortable shooting?
Can we get behind the tree there? Yes. He's exactly 200.
He's 200.
Okay, then I'm sighted at 100, so I should be like this high.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go up.
Okay. Okay.
Take your time.
Yeah, yeah. I want him to be standing perfectly before I shoot. I'm not gonna take any chances like this. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna wait until he moves. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait. I missed him. He's standing.
It's not wounded.
No.
It's not. Just a complete miss.
It looked like a miss.
I shot over it, didn't I?
I couldn't see.
You couldn't see?
No, I was between binoculars and the
Yeah,
camera.
yeah. Because I'm pretty sure it was over, because it wasn't on the side. Because the stick makes it very stable. So I'm sure that I just did a little bit like this. Yeah.
One of the truly exciting and fantastic aspects about buck hunting is that latent excitement that you walk through the forest, and even though you don't spot any deer, you know that the next corner or the next clearing might surprise you and there might be something there. Especially in this kind of terrain where it's really rugged and steep, so every little point you come to will show you something different. And we're actually walking back to the car, and then we spot this really nice buck, and he's 200 meters out. He's rubbing his antlers on a small bush, and Nina and Katalin gets in position. And then what, Nina?
We watch him a little bit, wait for him to turn, give it a shot, and he's wondering where's that sound coming from.
Yeah, it went over, or?
It went over.
Yeah,
it went over.
Yeah.
And then he walks into behind the trees.
Okay.
And we wait a little bit to see what's going on. He comes out, and then he's gone again.
Yeah.
So,
how does that feel?
a little bit of a flat feeling.
Yeah.
But that's how it is.
That's hunting.
That's hunting.
And at least it's not wounded.
It's not wounded.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful nature.
And we know where he lives.
You know where he lives.
Yeah.
So there's another buck.
Exactly. Yeah. That's hunting, but now we're going back for breakfast.
Yeah, that's gonna
and
be
then
nice.
We might try him again, because he was a really nice buck. Not to rub it in or anything, but he was a good buck.
It's the second night out with Nina. We've stalked down to this ridge where we're overlooking a beautiful valley of grass, small bushes and trees, and then the tall mountain. Katalin has seen at least a few really good bucks here. So now the plan is to sit here and wait a little bit. And then maybe later we'll stalk deeper into the valley. But beautiful scenery, beautiful hunting. Now we're just waiting for a buck.
Okay.
There is an animal, I don't know if it's a male or female.
Okay. It's moving. I can't see him now. I can't see him. I should. Yeah?
Very good. Very good, Nina. Den laver ligesom...
Ja.
Helt perfekt. Helt perfekt.
He's down? Oh! Oh! I have to unload. And then I have to shake. Hold lige.
Ja, jeg har den.
Åh.
Sig noget.
Hui.
Hvad så?
Det var godt. Det var det. Men jeg vil gerne se den, før jeg kan holde helt op med at ryste. Men jeg kunne føle, at jeg stod på en måde, der var komfortabel.
Det var sjovt at se, du var meget sådan betænkt, altså beslutsom.
Ja.
Ud med benet, bum.
Ja.
Sikring, bang. Det gik stærkt, alting.
Jamen,
altså, det var...
jeg ved, at hvis ikke jeg går rimelig hurtigt til den, så mister jeg det hele.
Så sker der alt muligt.
Ja, så jeg er bedst, når jeg er rimelig hurtig.
Hvor er det fedt. Du er den hele. Fedt. Det bliver
Ja, nu glæder jeg mig til at se den.
Yes,
Ja.
yes.
It was a very nice storm.
My turn. We've stalked along this ridge up here and got to this beautiful high seat. We're overlooking the valley and it's gorgeous terrain. It looks like the contours looks like something you would find on a very expensive golf area. But it's all natural. Lots of openings, green grass, small trees, and then the forest on the other side. Absolutely perfect terrain for roebucks. We just spotted a doe and a small one, so they have started to move now. So now it's just to wait for the big buck.
A hit.
Yes.
The same.
waiting for a few hours. This beautiful scenery, the sun came out, it was warm and glowing on this side of the valley. And I thought for sure now the bucks are coming out to enjoy the warmth of the last sun rays. And nothing happened. Just when we lost patience and we were gonna get up and stalk back, we saw one small buck. And he came down the valley. And immediately after that, a bigger buck came out of the forest. We moved up and down this ridge to find a good angle to shoot. There was another buck barking in the forest, and all of a sudden a fox also joined the party, and all the animals were anxious and not worried, but just alert. And finally I get into a position where I can see a top, just over the top of some trees. It was 180 meters. Felt it was a good shot. He went up in the air and kicked. So it might have been a slight bit to the back, but I'm pretty sure he's dead and it's a good shot. But just super excited. My very first Romanian roebuck, and I can't wait to get down there. Also being a hunter is these mixed emotions where you go from one moment being happy and joyful and thinking that you've shot your very first Romanian buck, only to be sadly disappointed a few minutes later when you realize that you just missed your very first Romanian buck. We found the place where the bullet hit the ground. We know where the buck was standing and we know where he ran. And there's no blood and no nothing. With this, the caliber is a 270. And normally, I've shot a lot of roe deers, and when I hit them in the chest area, they drop. If I hit them anywhere else, at least there's lots of blood. We can't find anything. When we saw the buck, he was 250, 220, moving between that. So I clicked up my turret. But when we finally got a shootable chance, it was 150 meters. And I did adjust, but the angle was quite steep. So we're guessing that the bullet just went right underneath the buck. And that also explains why he jumps up in the shot and runs off. So he got scared of the bullet strike and the bullet passing underneath him. So as Kathleen says, at least he's not wounded, but my pride is wounded. Now I have to tend to that so I can be fresh for the next opportunity, because that's also hunting. Sometimes you miss, but you have to learn something from that situation, bring it to use in the next, but don't carry the bad feelings with you, because then the next shot will also be bad. But a beautiful evening with a unsuccessful result. But we'll try again tomorrow.
White tips.
Tips, yeah. Like 2 inches above the ears.
But it looks like a 6-pointer.
Yeah, it is a 6-point. And it's not young. 4 or 5 years. 5 years maybe. Look at the neck.
Yeah.
It's not young.
Should we try?
Yeah, we can try to get that point over there.
Yeah. It's 230 meters from here.
And do you want to take a shot from here?
Yeah, I can lie down. It's not so bad.
Alright.
I just need the bag in me. Get the camera. Sådan dårlig. Har du den?
Jeg har den.
There's something wrong with this gun. Adrian, there's something wrong. That was a perfect. I can see them.
Oh, it's a complete miss.
Yeah. He's okay.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with the gun. That was a perfect aim. There's something wrong with this setup. The scope or the mount, something's off, because this was a fairly easy shot, 230 meters. I'm lying down with a dead steady rest. The aim was spot on, and it was a complete miss. So we have to test the scope and the mount, go to the shooting range and get that sorted, because something's off. It's not a long or complicated shot for me, so it should have been better. Often it's there's two things that can go wrong. It's either the shooter or the setup, and often it's the shooter, but in this case I'm pretty sure there's something wrong. So we'll have to test that and then give it another go. So this control shooting was both a success and a complete and utter failure, because it turns out the first shot was about 20 centimeters low, and now we fired 4 shots and corrected the zeroing. So now it hits where I'm aiming, and that is a very important lesson. On the first night we were here, I did 3 control shots. It was also hitting low, and I just adjusted on my turret. I never actually fired the last control shot, and I told myself, just adjust the turret ring so that the new 100 would be at 100, but I didn't do that. So in the hunting situations, I had to click up to 200, then add the original correction, multiply it by 2, maybe 2.5, and I didn't do that. That's too complicated in a hunting situation. So what I learned is take your time with the control shooting. When you get to the place you're hunting, you have to be confident, and the rifle has to hit where you're aiming. The 5 minutes I saved on the first night was completely wasted on 2 very good shooting or shootable situations. And that's a major lesson. That's just stupidity on my part not to be absolutely sure in the beginning. But now I'm sure, and now we go hunting. And now the rifle is hitting where I'm aiming, and all is good, hopefully. So now we just need one more buck.
Is that the doe on the right? Yeah.
Two running there. The big buck was chasing the little buck. Because the female was on the left. The big one might come back. Yeah. The big buck was chasing the little buck.
So this is the end of my Romanian buck hunting trip, and despite my stupid and silly mistake, I've really enjoyed these days hunting. The scenery is beautiful. The nature is perfect for roebucks. We've seen lots of roebucks. We've seen some really big bucks. So it's been really joyful, but I must come to terms with me not shooting my first Romanian roebuck. We were just about to pack up after stating that that young buck was too young. And out of the forest, this other buck comes and chases off the young one down the valley, up our slope, and they stop, or the last buck stops 50 meters from us. Adrian and I were both sure this is the old buck that we know is here, but it was also a 4-pointer, maybe a little bit older than the first one, but still it was too young. So after enjoying the last rush of adrenaline, we're packing up and leaving for home. Luckily, the buck season in Romania is long, so I'm pretty sure I have to come back because this is a beautiful place and they have good bucks, and I really want to shoot a Romanian buck in these mountains. So Romania, I'll see you again soon. We really try to portray our hunting experiences in a honest and truthful manner, and because of that, I feel that we have to put some words on this first buck encounter we had in Romania. When it happened, we clearly experienced it and saw it as a miss, but now, several months later, we're sitting here on a big screen and in slow motion, and honestly, it looks like we actually hit the buck. That really pains me and tears me apart, because I have this sneaky suspicion that we actually left a wounded animal in the forest. I believe we actually worked hard looking for blood or hair or tracks. We knew where the buck was standing at the shot. We knew where he ran into these tall, light-colored reeds, and we looked everywhere for hair or blood. We saw the bullet where it struck the ground, so we knew exactly where he was standing. But when we look at these images, if I saw this clip without any introduction, I would say that is a hit. It looks like it's a hit on the lower part of the chest, but it also might just be the shock wave. But my concern is the way he stiffens up on his left leg, and it's kind of it's out of sync with the other leg, and that's not normal for a buck to do. So for me, it looks like a hit. I think the morale must be that if you're in doubt, you need to work hard on that blood track. You need to really put in an effort to find any hair or any blood. And I think you have to walk down the track a little bit further than we might have done, because it could also be a question of it takes time for the blood to actually get out of the animal and onto the ground. Being a Scandinavian hunter, we are used to using tracker dogs. So if there's any possibility for using a dog, you should definitely go for that with every single shot you take, even though you might think it's a miss, because this doesn't look like a miss. As I said, it really pains me, and I think I know I've learned a lot from this experience, and I hope some of you might also take this into consideration.